Hello, my name is Jackie Stephens. This is going to be a restorative yoga class. It's going to last about 75 minutes. Restorative yoga is the yoga that I refer everybody to who wants to try yoga. It is for all levels, pretty much all levels of health, definitely all levels of flexibility. If you can get on the floor, you can do restorative yoga, and if you can't, talk to me and we'll see if we can make it happen anyway. Restorative yoga is very slow. There is no real movement to it, except that sometimes we stretch a little between postures. We hold everything for up to 10 minutes at a time. It is meant to be very relaxing and restorative. It is targeted at softening and relaxing the entire body, mind, and your breath as well. I would suggest that you have lots of things you can use as props nearby. I have an affinity for these Afghans because you can fold them up and put them into a lot of different shapes and sizes. There's also all kinds of stuff, round pillows, pillows. Maybe if you have back or knee problems, you have some firmer type stuff. Gather it all up. At least grab a couple of pillows and a couple of blankets, maybe even a couple of books. You would be surprised at what big fat books can be used for. And once you have gathered up your props, go ahead and come back to the mat. Restorative yoga is realistically something anybody can do. There's no excuse to not do it. It is good for a number of things. It helps you reduce anxiety and stress. It helps increase your flexibility safely. You move very slowly, so your flexibility comes to you very slowly. You are holding everything for a while, giving your muscles and soft tissue time to stretch out. Restorative yoga helps to balance your nervous system, helps to quiet you. It helps to calm and quiet the anxiety, smooth out the rough edges. So restorative practice is something that I recommend for everyone. And if you've got all your props and everything ready, let's go. Welcome to my home. This is my little area of my house where I practice. It is wedged in between my husband's and son-in-law's guitars and my husband's record collection, but it's my little space and it's kind of sacred and special to me. I spend a lot of time back here in this corner. And I wanted to mention one more time for the couple of latecomers, if you wanted to start getting things ready while I'm talking, this is going to be what we're going to use, this setup we're going to use for several postures. So first I took a couple of big books that are approximately the same size, and then I took a third book just to give me a little more on top, and then I took this firm pillow. So if you have a firm pillow or a blanket you can really roll up, or beach towel, you might want to put it under there to act as a bolster. And then I took just a regular floofy pillow, this acting as kind of my ski slope bolster. So this is a setup that we're going to be using several times, and you might just want to make sure that you have as many pillows and blankets, and if you have bolsters and blocks, awesome, use them. But many of us don't, so go ahead and use what you have, what you can make do with. So here's what I'd like y'all to think about today during practice. My life is a work in progress. It has been since the day I was born. That is not changing because of what's going on. My life is still a work in progress. For the time being, let go of as many frustrations as you can. Let go of the idea that your life is on hold somehow. It's not. Your life is still progressing. Your life is still going fine. That you're here today shows that because you're taking care of yourself. But we are always here for ourselves. We are the ones who, whether you believe it or not, whether you have self-confidence or not, you are the one who has always been there for yourself. And that does not change. So, knowing that nothing in life is permanent, knowing that everything around us swirls around, knowing that we are our own rock. Let's take our time today to let go, to recognize how solid we are at the core and how life can swirl around us like a hurricane, but we're solid. And you're here today taking care of yourself to prove that. So let's start off seated. I'm gonna sit on the edge of a blanket. I was just telling Christine Papera, I love these Afghans. I can fold them into any shape and they're a little bit firm and a little bit fluffy. So if you have an aunt who crochets, it's her time to shine. But either way, sit on the edge of a blanket or a pillow just to get comfortable. And find your comfortable seated position. You can sit with your legs out in front of you. Maybe you want something underneath to prop up your knees. You can sit in an easy seat with one leg in front of the other, crisscross applesauce, half lotus, full lotus, whatever is you this morning. Find your comfortable place. Let your hands rest on your knees or thighs, and don't sweat the small stuff. I have stumpy arms, so it's not always comfortable for me to leave my hands on my knees. Sometimes it's easier to leave my hands on my thighs. Whatever's comfortable for you. Your hands can rest down on your thighs, that's grounding. That's when you need a little extra support. Your palms can rest so they're facing up. That means you're exchanging energy with the universe. Roll your shoulders up and back a few times, getting comfortable. And then, of course, go in the other direction. After you've done a few, let your chin fall to your chest. Move your chin gently from side to side a few times. We're not doing anything special except warming up. Starting to make a little bit of space in the body. Bringing the head back to center. Make sure your arms are relaxed. Bring the shoulder blades up and back so the shoulder blades are towards one another. But more importantly, that your shoulders are away from your ears. Lengthen the neck, lengthen the torso. Let the legs and hips be very heavy on the floor. Allow your eyes to close. And if the eyes do not close, allow them just to grow very heavy. The eyelids maybe float over the eyes and your eyes become unfocused. And then begin to experience your breath without altering your breath. Simply knowing where you experience the breath, whether you feel the belly lifting and falling, whether you feel the chest lifting and falling, whether you experience the breath at your nostrils, whatever the case may be, experience the breath. Now begin to notice how the breath is moving in your body. Is it moving slowly and deeply? Or is the breath moving quickly? a little shallowly, maybe just dancing in the upper part of your lungs. And then without changing your breath, simply experiencing it, key in on your mind for a moment and notice, is the mind moving quickly? Is it on its hamster wheel? Or has the mind already begun to slow down and empty out? And then go ahead and key in on your body. Noticing if you've begun to crunch in a little bit, if your torso has shortened, and if so, lengthen back up. Notice if your shoulders started creeping up. If so, bring them down. And then take a little journey through your body and notice where you're holding tension, where you are feeling heavy, where you are feeling open, and where you know you might need to bring a little bit of extra work or breath. And then knowing what you brought to the mat this morning with your mind, your body, and your breath, let's begin to deepen the breath. Bring your focus to your belly button. Feeling the belly fill on the inhale and relax back down on the exhale. Breathe deeply into the belly, allowing the belly to relax down on the exhale. Allow your focus to stay at your belly button. Whether your mind is telling you that you must scratch your nose or you must fidget, you don't. You just need to focus at your breath. And what you'll notice is that as the breath begins to inflate the torso a little more, the breath is going to move up into the ribs. Breathing into the belly, into the ribs. The exhale relaxes the ribs down and the belly down. Inhale, belly expands, ribs expand. Exhale, ribs relax together. Belly falls back to the spine. And as you continue to breathe in that manner, you may find your breath draws up towards your collarbones. If it doesn't yet, that's okay. We hold stress in our chest. You know this. You've had stress sit on your chest like an elephant. So sometimes our three-part breath isn't quite three-part breath, and that's okay. Breathe as deeply as you can without allowing yourself to get woozy or feel like you're moving your torso too much with the inhales and exhales. If so, if you're woozy or your body is moving too much, back off a little bit. You're efforting a little too hard. And as the breath begins to grow deeper and deeper, as you notice the breath coming into your nostrils, into your body, into your lungs, feel the expansion and contraction of your body, of your ribs especially. That's where I really notice it. They expand on the inhale, contract on the exhale. The more you focus on your breath, the more this helps you stay present in your body. My life is a work in progress, but I am here and I am strong. Feeling grounded and connected to your center during this chaotic time can make such a difference. So let's go ahead and we're going to come to our supported child's pose first. So staying where you are, slowly, not jumping out, but let your eyes flutter open. Hold on to your breath. Turn and face your setup. And very slowly, first stretch your legs out. Wobble them out a little bit. And then turn and face your setup. If you have tender knees, you can keep a blanket on your mat. Coming to tabletop over your setup. Bring your hips to your heels, spread the knees, and then slowly make your way down. Now, since these are not bolsters, they're not going to act like bolsters. Take a few moments here and get comfortable. Make sure that everything is the way that you need it to be to maintain this posture for several minutes. Make sure the hips are towards the heels. Make sure that you feel well supported and comfortable. Turn your head one way or the other. And I will have you switch your head halfway through. If you've lost the breath while you were moving and getting into your position, locate the breath again. Begin inhaling and exhaling deeply through the nostrils, feeling the belly pressing against whatever your support is. Make sure that you're well supported. The body relaxes more when it's supported. When you feel safe and comfortable, that's when you're going to be able to relax the most. Good. See if you can let your hips drop down towards the heels, and if the hips don't quite come down to the heels, you can put another pillow or rolled up blanket on top of your heels to give a little bit of support. The most important thing is to make sure you feel comfortable and supported. And that you take the time to do it. Good. And I've seen a couple of dogs wander in and out of shots, so I'm going to remind you, I'm also owned and loved by dogs. Most of them are on a totally separate side of the house. They'll be very difficult to hear, but there's one yappy little dog that kind of hangs out all over the house. She's not in here with me right now, but you might hear the occasional bark from Abby, especially if UPS comes. And just like at the studio, you might hear some traffic. You might hear a little of this and that. But as with all practices, we have to learn to tune out what does not serve us and tune into what does serve us. And right now, that's the breath. Find the breath, feel it pressing down towards your bolster, your block, your book, your blanket, whatever you're using. And with the exhale, feel the body relax just a little bit more. And what I like to do, I'm big with visualizations. That's one of the things that works best for me. I like to imagine myself in a yoga bubble. And how I create that yoga bubble is with my deep breath. When I'm in a posture like balasana, like child's pose, and I'm very relaxed and I can tune into my breath, and I feel my belly inhaling, lifting away from the spine. Exhaling, everything relaxes as the belly button draws back in. And I just imagine these breaths, the energy is creating a bubble for me where I'm protected by my breath. Everything in my yoga bubble is quiet, safe, relaxed, and calm. There's no judgment in my yoga bubble. My life is a work in progress. My practice is certainly a work in progress. And in my yoga bubble, it is exactly what I need in that moment. The body grows heavier and heavier. The breath grows slower and deeper. Go ahead and lift your head and turn it in the other direction. If you need to make any minor adjustments, please do. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Allow the eyes to very gently flutter open. Bring your head to center. Bring your hands to the floor around your setup. Press yourself back up to tabletop. And take a few cat-cow movements. So as you inhale, allow your spine to stretch from your crown to your tailbone, and as you exhale, round up. Inhale, getting long. Exhale, rounding up. Take these as gently as possible, with as little energy expended as possible. Move with your breath. Move slowly and gently. And then come back to neutral. And we're going to set up for a reclined butterfly. So you're going to use a real similar setup to what you just had, potentially even the same thing. The only thing you might need is a blanket or a pillow or anything to support your knees. And I'm going to cheat a little bit and use blocks here, but they could just as easily be my books. And once you get your setup ready, sit with your hips near it, bring your hands alongside it, and slowly roll down, slowly. Make sure that the head, neck, and shoulders are well supported. So that might mean sliding down a little bit on your setup. Make sure that you feel safe and supported. And when you do, walk your feet together and let your knees open out. Allow yourself to make a big diamond shape with your legs. You don't need to have them in very close like this. That kind of pinches and shortens some of the soft tissue at the side. So let everything open up. So big diamond shape with the legs are well supported. Your head, neck, and shoulders are well supported. Arms are relaxed. Hands can rest on the belly or relax down at the sides. And you know that you feel supported and comfortable enough to stay here. I'll let everyone get in position. Good. Get comfortable. You can also, if you need to use something for your legs, you can roll up a blanket or a beach towel and kind of weave them around. But everybody looks comfortable at the moment. If you have any questions or comments, certainly get in touch with Mindy or I after class. There's also a way to do that. There's a comment button here on the bottom that you could use when class is finished. So now we're in our reclined butterfly. We are probably doing more sitting right now than we usually are. So this causes our torso to get smaller, which means that our internal organs are getting smushed. So we really want to unwind our body in this posture. Once you are comfortable and safe, focus on the breath again. And this time I'm going to ask you to bring your focus. Your breath is pretty well established at this point. You got your good inhale and exhale going. So please, I'm going to ask you to bring your focus to your third eye center, the point between your eyebrows. Make sure that the eyebrows are not scrunched together. Separate the eyebrows. Let them relax away from one another. And then imagine that there's a beautiful white light between your eyes. And as you breathe, just simply hold that white light between the eyebrows. On your next inhale, draw that white light back to midbrain, roughly the point between your ears. And with your exhale, press the light back to third eye center. Inhale, draw the light back to midbrain between the ears roughly. Exhale, pressing the light back to third eye center. Inhale, drawing the light back. Exhale, pressing it forward. Inhale, drawing the white light back between the eyebrows to midbrain. Exhale, pressing it back out, third eye center. Inhale, draw the light to midbrain. Exhale, press the light back out to third eye center. Continue breathing, drawing the light back and forth, developing a rhythm, keeping the mind engaged so that the body completely relaxes around everything. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Continue with that white light, drawing it back and forth. And as you exhale completely, press the light out through third eye center. Allow the face to completely relax and release your focus for the moment. Blink your eyes, allowing them to float open or open-ish. They never have to open completely. Take your hands to the outside of your thighs. Slowly escort the knees up. And then lie here for a moment with your feet on the floor and your knees pointing up. And just feel your muscles rebound, sliding back into place. Bring your hands to the floor and slowly press yourself up to seated. When you get here, bring your knees in towards your chest a little bit. Inhale, and as you exhale, just fold over your knees. Hug in as much as you can. Squeeze in as tight as you can. And with your inhale, feel the spine stretch. And with the exhale, feel everything soften. Breathe here in place for a few moments. If you are not already sitting on the edge of a blanket, go ahead and find a blanket or a small pillow. Fold it up and sit on the edge. And if you know that you have a tight low back or hips, I luckily have one of these, which works really well, but if you have a fluffy pillow, whatever you have, bend your knees and bring it underneath so that your knees are soft and you have a little bit of support and you're bringing the earth up towards you. Make sure your sit bones are heavy and move aside any flesh if you need to. And then as you're ready, I'll give everybody a second to get back into place. Good. As you're ready, inhale, your arms up. Good. Exhale, lowering them down. Inhale, arms stretch up, torso lengthens. Exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, lifting up, stretch the torso long, and this time as you exhale, fold forward, coming into forward bend. As soon as you feel your back start to round, bring your hands to the floor and allow your back to round. I like to separate my knees fairly wide to accommodate my back. And I kind of come down in between. Your head can fold down, and if it's uncomfortable to let your head hang, you can take a book or a couple and make a support to catch your head. Make sure that your knees are soft. Make sure that your feet are soft. If you are pressing out through your heels like you might in an active hatha class, you're going to feel a lot of strain at the back of your legs that's unnecessary. So as always, take a few moments to make sure that you are comfortable and that you can support this position for probably 7 minutes or so. Fall back into your deep breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. And when you get there, when you're settled in, when you're comfortable enough that you feel supported so you can relax, let the body start to soften. With every exhale, let the body soften just a little bit more. Although we commonly call this pose seated forward fold, its Sanskrit name, which I'm horrible at Sanskrit, but I'm going to say it, Paschimottanasana, which basically means intense stretch to the west. This refers to a couple of different things. It refers to the fact that the ancient yogis used to practice facing the sunrise. And when they did, of course, they would be folding forward, stretching the entirety of their back or the west side of their body. The more you can learn to relax in this pose, the deeper your stretch will be. Seated forward fold stretches the spine, the shoulders, the pelvis, hamstrings. You know this, it stretches your hamstrings like crazy. Make sure those knees are soft and the hamstrings feel supported. By folding forward and compressing your inner organs, this pose also stimulates and balances the liver, the kidneys, adrenal glands, ovaries, and uterus. And it will also help relieve stress, as long as you can get there comfortably, and trying to get there comfortably is not causing you more stress. Once you get comfortable, I swear this pose will help you relieve stress. It also helps to improve your digestion and appetite. Now, if you find that folding forward is causing more discomfort than sitting up, work on extension. Just sit up, close your eyes, let your legs stretch in front of you, and simply focus at the breathing. Breathe at that white light. The inhale draws it back to midbrain. The exhale presses forward to third eye center. Inhale, draw the white light back to midbrain. Exhale, press it forward. So whether you are folding forward or sitting up in a staff pose, focus at the breath and that white light as you draw it back and press it forward. Forward folds will relieve stress, improve digestion and appetite, relieve menstrual pain and some symptoms of menopause, It helps to calm the mind. And a forward fold also will improve sleep and relief from insomnia. It's a good one to do if you're having trouble sleeping. Stay comfortable and supported. Breathing deeply. The inhale, we draw the white light to midbrain. The exhale, we press it forward. Inhale, draw it back. Exhale, press it forward. And with your next inhale, draw the breath back to midbrain. And this time, let it illuminate the entire inside of your skull. Feel this white light moving within your brain, moving within the skull, actually. It's going to go into the nooks and crannies of the brain, but mostly it's going to help cleanse your skull, help relieve some of the stress on your brain. So as you're inhaling and exhaling, you're simply watching this white light. You're watching it illuminate the inside of the skull. And you may feel lighter, less weight, as though your brain is not as heavy. It doesn't feel as though you're carrying as much weight there. Allow the bright light. And by the way, if your light goes to a slightly different color, no worries. It's all beautiful. So as this light is illuminating the inside of the skull, softening the brain, relieving some of the tension, begin to draw the light back together at midbrain. And when you're ready, as you exhale, press the light back to third eye center, the point between the eyebrows, and release it for the moment, releasing the breath. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Press your hands. If your hands aren't already on the floor, bring your hands to the floor. Let your neck be soft so that your chin is moving in towards your chest. And press yourself slowly up to a seated position. Pause here for several moments. Let your shoulders relax down. The face is soft. Let all the tension drain from the face. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your kneecaps and just gently wiggle your legs a little bit. Wobble them from side to side, just taking a little bit of movement. And then as you're ready, go ahead and remove anything from under the legs, bringing the feet to the floor. Remove whatever you're sitting on, and remove anything that you have behind you. So in other words, come to a clean mat. Keep a big pillow nearby to act as a bolster. We are going to go into twists, so I want something for you to support your legs. And you can also have a blanket nearby to act as a pillow for your head. And go ahead and set up your blankets or your bolsters or whatever you'll want to catch your legs to your left. So when you have everything sort of set up, roll down to your mat. Make a support for your head, rolling the blanket up maybe. I'm taking one of my favorite Afghans and rolling it into something of a little roll here, and that's supporting my neck. And then I'm going to move my setup down a little bit to catch my legs. So once we all meet down on our mats, good. Draw your knees into your chest. Close your eyes and begin to breathe deeply again. Draw the knees in. Give yourself a big hug. Inhale your forehead up to your knees. Make yourself as small as possible. Release the head down. Squeeze the knees in one more time, and then bring the arms out to a T. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, let your knees fall to the left and be supported by whatever you have there. Now again, take these first moments to feel well supported. Do you need anything under your right shoulder? If your right shoulder is popping up, you might need to put a blanket underneath to bring the earth up. You might want to cross your top leg over your bottom leg. You might want to stretch your legs straight and cross the top leg over the bottom. You can draw your knees up towards your shoulder or bring them down closer to your hips. This is your twist. Find the comfort and the beauty in it. Because our lives are always changing. Because my life is a work in progress. The twist that felt good for me yesterday might not feel good today. Find your comfortable place. And once you do, focus at the breath again. Inhaling deeply and exhaling completely, feeling the torso filling up on the inhales and releasing on the exhale. Bring the focus to that bright light again, our friend, at third eye center. Feel the face relax in response. And as you inhale, draw the bright light back to midbrain. Exhale, press it forward to third eye center. Inhale, draw it back. Exhale, press it forward. Breathe in this manner for a few more moments. Restorative appeals to many of us these days for many reasons. In part because it's a practice for everyone, every level, virtually every type of health. Some of the benefits of restorative yoga are that it increases your ability to stretch safely. Deep relaxation helps keep you healthy, which can help boost your immune system. Restorative yoga can help balance your nervous system, both through the deep breathing and the postures. Restorative yoga can help quiet the mind. We slow down. We slow down the body, the breath, and the mind. Restorative yoga can help you recover from illness. It can help heal emotional pain. There's time in these poses for you to feel, for emotions to come up, and that's good. So we allow them to come up, we allow ourselves to feel, we allow ourselves to heal. Restorative yoga helps carve a path to a meditation practice. I've been telling people forever that meditation does not have to be a sit down in a special place for a half an hour. It can be 2 minutes sitting on your couch. And restorative yoga helps slow you down and helps you move to a meditation practice. And now as you're focusing at that white light, the next time you inhale and draw it back to midbrain, hold it there for several breaths. Then grow your light. Watch the light illuminate the inside of your brain, smoothing out any of the tension, anything that you feel. This light is calming and smoothing and releasing and relaxing. Watch the light glowing, illuminating, softening. Begin to draw the light back to midbrain, focusing it and condensing it into a little ball at midbrain. And as you exhale, press it back out through third eye center, releasing the practice, releasing the breath. The face relaxes. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. And as you inhale next, draw the knees up to center. Give yourself that big hug in. Reach for any props and bring them over to the other side. And as you're ready, bring your arms out to a T. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, the knees fall to the right, finding their happy place. Take these first moments to get comfortable. And if your left shoulder is lifting off the floor, put a little blanket or a little pillow underneath. Breathe deeply. Your head can roll to the left if it's comfortable, or it can stay to the center. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever is best for your practice. And then find that good deep breath again. Find your light residing between your eyebrows. And begin to breathe with it. The inhale draws the light to midbrain. The exhale presses it forward. The inhale draws the light to midbrain. The exhale presses it back out through the third eye center. And we continue breathing with the light. Knowing that nothing is permanent, that the most permanent thing in life is impermanence. It takes a brave heart to accept change, to accept that everything changes. Even when things are more or less the way we want them to be, we fear change. When we cling to the illusion of permanence, that we have found the perfect routine, that we've found the perfect practice, that we found the perfect time during the day for our practice, what we're actually hoping to secure is protection from the unknown that impermanence may represent. We're afraid of change. So many of us got a big smack in the head when the quarantines came, because our routines have been completely changed. But that's okay, because we're still here for ourselves. My life is a work in progress, but I am what's here. I am what's strong for me. And as you inhale next, draw the light to midbrain and hold it there. Let it create a beautiful ball of light. And as you're ready, allow the light to illuminate the brain, the inside of the skull, going into any places in the brain that need a little calming, that need to be soothed and softened. And then begin to draw your light into a ball at midbrain. And as you're ready, with an exhale, press the light out through third eye center. Exhale and relax. Take a big inhale. Exhale completely. And when you're ready, with an inhale, draw the knees up to center. And give yourself a final hug in. You can bring your forehead up to your knees, squeeze in, whatever feels appropriate, staying with the idea of that yoga bubble. And then release everything. Release the effort. Release yourself down on your mat, setting up for your final relaxation posture, your Shavasana. Perhaps having a blanket ready to cover yourself. Perhaps a blanket for your head, a support for your knees or thighs. And when you're ready, roll back onto your mat. Take up your final relaxation pose. Let your feet move at least hip distance apart, mat width maybe. Let the arms come out to the sides or rest on the belly. Close the eyes and begin to really, really relax. We're going to focus on our breathing for a few more moments. So find that deep rhythmical breath. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you're warm enough or cool enough. And then find your white light. The place between your eyebrows. Begin to draw the white light back to midbrain with the inhale. Exhale, press it forward to between the eyebrows. Inhale, drawing it back. Exhale, press the light to third eye center. And then draw the light back to midbrain, holding it there. Watching the light grow. Watch the light expand. And now the light completely illuminates the inside of the skull. Now draw the light back to midbrain. And with an inhale, draw the light further back to your spine. And as you're inhaling, press that white light down the spine. It may take a few breaths. Don't rush it. Allowing the light to move slowly down the spine until it gets to your tailbone. And you see that your spine is now illuminated with this white light. And feel this white light stretching out into your torso. Allow the inside of the head to illuminate again. Down the shoulders, down the arms, down into the hips, down into the legs, into the feet and the toes. Watch the white light illuminating your entire body. And as you're breathing deeply and your body is entirely illuminated by this light, slowly watch the light dissipate. And it grows a little darker and a little dimmer until the light is released and you are back to normal. And you release all the effort. Your breath releases to its natural place. The body is heavy and relaxed. The mind is quiet. Allowing the skin to rest on the floor, the muscles to relax on the skin, the bones to relax on the muscles. And we just let go. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Allow your focus to come to the tip of your nose and just feel the air. Inhale, cool air. Exhale, warm air. And as the breath begins to lead you back into the present moment, as your breath begins to bring you back into the class, into the room, notice if your body is calling for any movement. It may want to remain perfectly still, or it might request the fingers move, the head rolls, maybe a long stretch with a little wiggle from side to side. And then when you're ready, draw the knees into the chest on an exhale. Give yourself a good hug in. The big thing we can't do with the virtual classes is hug one another. So this is my hug to you. Give yourself a good teacher hug. Then let your right arm roll up next to your ear, roll off to your right side, and pause for a moment, holding in the love you have for your practice of yoga. And then go ahead and slowly make your way up to a seated position. When you get here, take a moment to notice your breath, your mind, and your body, remembering how it felt when you came to the mat this morning, and knowing the changes that your practice of yoga brought to you today, and knowing that this calm and peace is available to you at any time. You just have to take the moment to find it. And I think Mindy will unmute us for a moment for the end of class. Drawing our hands together at heart center, bowing our forehead to our fingertips, we take a moment to thank the teachers who came before us and who laid the foundations of knowledge. We honor the teachers who walk the earth along with us, who are with us and learn and teach alongside us. And we honor those teachers who will come later. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you, everyone.